I just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about, how to know if you're psychic, if you have the gifts, and see if you have any questions. And by you, I mean those of you who are watching on replay as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. My name is Kasia Berg and I do past life healing, and I help you connect with your guides and kind of not even uncover gifts, but remember that you have them. Heather is still unpacking. Oh, so fun. I am not envying that at all because moving house is not my thing. I hate packing, and even worse, I hate unpacking. But I'm excited because new house, yay. So how do we know if we are psychic? Now there's going to be a bit of a spoiler alert coming your way, because this is what I'm told all the time when someone asks me. Our guides, this is what they're saying. They're like, it's like your human senses. You've got them, you don't question them, you don't feel, that it's a particular, thing, ability. It's beautiful when we have it, right? But it is also, you come down here with these gifts. Very much so, because coming down here and having this human experience is like trying to climb Mount Everest, right? And for that, we need equipment, we need a guide. So that's what you have. So I can tell you that you very much have these gifts, but here's the thing. You don't have to use them. If you haven't experienced them, it's probably because they are lying there dormant, maybe from this lifetime because something happened and that caused you to shut it down. Or maybe something happened in one of your past lives that caused you to shut down this gift, and so it's lying there dormant. Now, the psychic gifts that I'm talking about, of course, and by the way, psychic does not mean straight away you have to connect with dead people and, wear a scarf with little coins hanging down and look into your magic bowl. It doesn't mean that at all. Hello, everyone who's jumping on. So nice to see so many of you hopping on. So we're talking about how do we know if we're psychic, and I can tell you, you are. That's your natural state of being in tune to energy, to things around you, vibrations, emotions. That's how we read people. That's how we read spirit. We tune into the energy of that spirit, of that person. But a lot of the time, people think of psychic as that lady sitting in a tent at a fair, with that scarf and a magic ball, and that's a fortune teller, really. You can be psychic and not be a medium. Okay, medium is another thing, and that's someone who brings across dead people, right? So spirits of people who have passed. So someone who brings them across. Now, there is 4 main gifts or psychic senses. There's actually 6, but the 2, clairalience and clairgustor, which is the sense of tasting and sense of, or clear tasting, clear smelling, they're very rare. And in Liberato, when I take you through this 3-month journey, we focus mostly on the 4 main ones. So we usually focus on clairvoyance, which is clear vision, clairaudience, which is clear hearing, clear cognizance, which is clear knowing, and clear sentience, which is clear feeling, which means you feel things. And I'm going to go through all of them so that you can see whether any of them resonate. Now, you might have one that you are very familiar with and you're like, yeah, that one jumps out the most. You might have a combination of a few, and that's all fine. That's all fine. Now, here's the thing. Clairvoyance, which is the clear seeing, right? Often we think that we have to see spirit with our human eyes, and that's simply not true. That is very rare, to see spirit with your human eyes. It's more, you might feel spirit, you might know that they're there before you will see it. So clairvoyance, if you know you have clairvoyance, if you see images. When you meditate, for example, you see images, whether it's pictures, movies, symbols, words, anything like that. If you can see it in your mind's eye, which is the 3rd eye, you have clairvoyance. If you can visualize things with ease, like let's say you follow a guided meditation, and can you guys hear me? It's very loud here. I've got like my kids all the kids at home, so I hope you can hear me. So if you can visualize, if you can follow that guided meditation, and you can see everything that's being described, right? Or you can sort of close your eyes and visualize, you know, something, you know, you're at a beach, you know, with a cocktail, you know, and it's nice and warm, and there's palm trees and white sand as far as the eye can reach. If you can visualize this with ease, you have clairvoyance. If you are someone who has a keen eye for details, or you can walk into an empty room and know how to style it, how to decorate it, you have clairvoyance, okay? So these are the signs. Clairvoyance, right? Clairaudience, clear hearing. Now again, we can hear you loud and clear. Oh, thank you. Sorry, Kira, it sounds really loud here. Clairaudience is when you have, when you can hear spirit. Now again, we think of hearing like you can hear me now, or like I can hear my kids, but it's actually inner ear hearing. So it's this inner hearing. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? Because sometimes you will hear whispers. So sometimes at night I can hear them like, go like, Kasha, wake up. So I'm like, was that my husband? Who's saying this? Or I'll hear someone's name. So that's one thing. So it sounds like a whisper. But if you don't have that, but let's say you are in a shower, you're having a shower, and all of a sudden a conversation drops in and it just flows in. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to do it. It just comes in. Or maybe it's an idea for a post and it flows so easily and you're like, oh my God, where's my pen? I need to write this down. That's your guides talking to you. So you have clairaudience when you can hear that, when you can hear the whispers, when you can hear, you know, the thoughts that are coming in, because most of the time people are already connecting with their guides and they don't even realize, because it comes in thought form. So thoughts are also, unless you're sitting there using your analytical mind, thinking what you're going to have for dinner, recalling that maybe 2 days ago you had a red spaghetti, so probably we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I could cook a curry, but I don't know if I have enough potatoes. Oh, I don't think we have curry paste. That is using your analytical mind. So I don't mean that kind of, but when you're sitting and you're having inspiration, ideas. So with my clients, when I tune them, and what this means is I make them sensitive to this kind of picking up energy, right? So when I attune them, all of a sudden they're getting ideas for their programs, or, you know, the next step in life or business, right? I'm not performing any magic. Vanessa, hello. My mama-in-law. I'm not doing any magic. I'm not doing anything for them. I'm just attuning. I'm making them aware of how to hear, right? How to receive messages. So clairaudience, and I will give you steps how to kind of strengthen. I'll give you little tips how to strengthen it. So for now, just sit, enjoy, see if anything is resonating, and then we'll go through a quick little, a few little techniques so you can strengthen the clairs that you think are strongest for you. So that's clear hearing, clairaudience. Then we have clairsentient. So clairsentient, not to be confused with an empath. Empaths are different. Empaths feel the energy of other people, emotions especially, and they take it on, but in a sense sort of like their magnetic field, and it sticks to them. Now an empath that's aware of this can clear it very quickly. It's no problem. It's not like, you know, they are susceptible and they have to live forever with other people's energies attached. So, but that's different. Clairsentient is feeling, sensing things. A lot of energy healers have that gift. And that's when, for example, if I'm sitting in a session with someone and all of a sudden I feel like a little bit anxious, my heart is racing, and it turns out that my client is feeling nervous and anxious. So I know it's not me because I'm fine. Turns out it's them. Or like when I'm sometimes going to someone's past life and I can, you know, see them being hit over their heads, and I can feel it. Like I can feel this sort of yank in my head. So feeling things, feeling energy is clairsentient. So you also, another way you might experience this is sympathy pains, right? So sympathy pains, but also let's say you walk into a room, let's say an old Melbourne jail, and you walk in there and you can feel that the energy is a little bit off here. It feels very eerie. You might be sensing things. You might feel like someone's following you. So that means your clairsentient is very active. So that's clairsentient. So clear feeling. Clear cognizance is the clear knowing. And that one is so elusive because majority of people probably have it and they don't even know it. And it's this, you know, you say something and then it happens. You're like, oh my God, how did I know this? you just know this, right? Like you just know. And often when I used to say something and it happened, I had a few friends who would say, oh my God, you jinxed us, right? And I don't know how I knew this. So clear cognizance is usually what, let's say, psychics who can tell you your future, they are using clear cognizance and they are tuning into your energy. The only thing that I don't know how many people know about this is that we have multiple timelines. And when a psychic tunes into your energy, it's the current energy. So your aura is changing all the time, right? You could leave my session and change everything that I just told you by just making one different decision, right? So they're tuning into your energy and they are using clear cognizance as in like it just this knowing that comes up. Clairsentience is probably another one that they use, tuning into energy. Okay, so we have clairvoyance, clairaudient, clear cognizance, and clairsentient. Now, how can we strengthen them? And this is really, really cool because you do it in a very fun way. We don't take ourselves seriously when we do this stuff. They want us to be in a very playful state. The more you go into a playful state and you actually don't really care, right? And you just go, I'll just see what happens, and you start experimenting, the less your analytical mind will interfere and the easier it will be for you to experience spirit or the other side or loved ones, or, you know, use your gifts for good. It'll be much easier to strengthen them. The worst thing you can do is if you actually start going like, was this something? Does this mean anything? Was this my imagination? How do I do this? I don't understand. Is this it? Am I doing it right? But what do you mean exactly hearing? You're hearing. Was that something? So the more questions you have like this, instead of just surrendering and allowing things to come to you, the harder it will be. All right, so clairvoyance. How do we strengthen this? So here's a great tip, and I share this with my clients in Liberato. Clairvoyance, if you want to strengthen that, obviously visualizations help. But here's another thing. Daydreaming. So dreaming out, you know, and you might be manifesting at the same time. My favorite exercise though is visualize a table, visualize a vase, visualize yourself putting in 5 flowers, and then visualize yourself smashing it. Now, it doesn't matter how you smash it. You can do it with your hand. You can use a baseball bat. You can throw a rock at it. You can smash it. You can shoot it. It does not matter. What matters is that you can see it, that you can follow the whole process when it smashes, when it falls to the ground, what happens to the flowers, what happens to the glass pieces. Following that as much detail as you can see is the key. But when you start doing this for the first time, you probably won't see so much. It might feel like it's a bit fuzzy or a little bit out of focus. That's okay. The more you do it, the more details you will see it. So that's clairvoyance. Now, clairaudience. How do we strengthen this? The best thing is, honestly, when you start paying attention and are very present when someone's talking to you. Because here's the thing, often when we're talking to someone or when someone's talking to us, or what we tend to do is as soon as they say something and we have a story that is so relatable, I've got to tell you because then you'll know that I get it. I know what you're talking about. So we tend to jump in, right? And we tend to tell our story. Or they're talking and we're thinking about grocery shopping. What am I going to do for dinner, right? Like kind of off with the fairies. But when you can practice actually active listening during a conversation, you're fine-tuning your clairaudience. In order to hear spirit, you have to fine-tune your listening abilities. When you start hearing noises like or like some pricking or maybe some fuzziness in your ear, that's a sign that your clairaudience is opening up. Your ears are fine-tuning to the finer frequencies. Okay, so that's a sign. Now, clairsentience and claircognizance can be practiced together. There's cool exercises. Now, in Liberato, we're going to do a whole heap of them for everything because it'll be like a workout for your clairs. You know, it's like when you go to the gym and you want to buff up, right? You will go hardcore, you will go intensely, you will go every day maybe. You work, you do all your things. But once you have muscle, you probably don't have to go as hard. You just need to maintain it. So for the 3 months that we're together, we will be intensely practicing all these different tools and strengthening your psychic ability so that when you leave my container, you've got it. Okay, so here's an exercise to help you strengthen your clairsentience and claircognizance. So Remember, that's clear knowing and clear feeling. The best thing that you can do is, aside from kind of like walking into the room and paying attention to what the atmosphere is like, how does it feel? You know, when you walk into someone's house, pay attention to like how it feels for you, or what comes up. So that's one thing that you can do. Now, here's another thing. Ever judged a person that you just met and you're like, somehow I just don't like them. They don't need to say anything anymore. They don't need to do it. I just don't like them. And that's because your clear sentient or your clear cognizance picked up on their energy. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just probably means maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're going through something and their energy exuberates that negativity and it doesn't mesh with your positive love and light energy. But here's an exercise that I absolutely love doing. Grab some old photos or get someone to find some random photos on the internet. Hopefully they'll remember whose photos they're grabbing and tune into them. So when you tune into someone's photo, you will be using mostly clear cognizance and clear sentient, right? That's the vibe, the knowing. So just tune to the photo. Now, I have this specific way of doing it where I imagine this person sitting at a table with me and I connect with them and then I ask them, you know, what they want to tell me about them. And then I just listen. Now, it's not about being right. In fact, you probably won't be right for many, many times. What is important is the thoughts that came up. What was your first knowing? What was the feeling that you got? You have to look past the photo. Sometimes when you look at these older photos, it's very easy to judge the photo and go like, he looks like a criminal, when really it's just a photo, right? So you got to go past this and you really want to tune in and you want to notice the first thought. Was there another thought that jumped in? Was your analytical mind trying to find some answers? Pay attention to all this. In fact, write it all down. And even if you didn't get anything right, do the next photo and just notice what happens. So that's how you strengthen clear cognizance and clear sentience. Do you have any questions around knowing whether you're psychic, how, or any of the clairs? If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. I just wanted to do this quick little video to sort of help you connect the dots. If you think, I wonder if I am, I wonder if I've got the gift. My guess is you have, because that's your natural state of being. Being psychic is your natural state of being. You are aware of energy. The thing is, it's lying dormant. It is, you've been almost desensitized to feel energy. And so you're kind of, in order to adapt to this very dense physical world, you're desensitized to the fine vibrations of energy. And so you're not picking it up. But it's a very, very, very easy to awaken it. Oh, Zian, I don't know if this has been asked, but how did you know you were? It kind of found me when I started meditating. I was meditating probably for like 2 years. Oh, no, I'm lying. 1.5 years every day. And I started seeing past lives. And then it's interesting because I did tarot cards when I was younger, but when I was 18, too many things were coming true and I shut it down, as in like I decided I'm not doing this stuff anymore. And it's really interesting because it's not something I would have told people or thought it was important to share with anyone. It was kind of almost like weird that I was doing tarot, so I better not say anything. But once this started happening, I started kind of following the trail and making connections. And, you know, someone in the family said, you know, come to think of it, you used to have these invisible friends, and the way you described them, they sounded like 19th century people. How would a 4-year-old know this, right? So then it turns out I could see people, which I got scared of, shut that down, which is why I was scared of the dark. And then you kind of follow this trail. So this found me, and then I just started investigating, like, what is going on here? What is this? Does this mean something? I was doing tarot cards. Turns out it was 6th generation psychic. But I would just start. You don't have to wait for an awakening. Awakening will happen, but you don't have to wait for, you know, something big to happen, to kind of like a sign to drop in and say, you are psychic. You can literally just start, just tune into like the clairs and just see, oh, this makes sense. This makes sense. Maybe I can practice them more. So I hope this helps you, and thank you for asking this. Kira, when words just flow, talking or writing is likely clear audience. Yeah, so when words are flowing through and then you write them, automatic writing is fantastic. Thank you for actually mentioning this. That is fantastic practice. When they're just flowing in, that is clairaudience, yes. So you will probably have experienced this maybe when you're folding the washing, when you're driving, when you're having a shower, because your active mind is kind of going to sleep, like, ugh, folding the washing, I don't need to be present for this. So your active mind goes to sleep, and then they bring through information. It's just, you're always connected. You're always connected. It's just that we think that the way our guides will talk to us will be like the way I'm talking to you now. And so we expect these huge signs. And I thought, I'm going to get someone like Patrick Swayze in Ghost appear before me, and then I'll know for sure. And unfortunately, that doesn't work for everyone. But it doesn't mean you don't have it because you haven't seen a ghost like Patrick Swayze appear. That is very rare. That is very rare. And often when you can't see it, it's because you have a subconscious fear. So something could have happened in this lifetime or another lifetime that made you shut it down. So that is that. If you don't have any more questions, or if you think of any more questions after this, please feel free to post them below this video. This will go up on my IGTV so that you can find it in case you want to go back to the exercises. Oh, hello, Cherise. Yeah, my family was doing dice rolls the other night, and I just tuned in and picked, excuse me, 5 rolls in a row, but it was deliberate, and I knew the 6th roll. I thought about it or doubted my first time. See, it happens, right? Like when you allow your analytical mind to step in, you go with the first thought. But that's amazing, Cherie. I know you have the gifts. I know it. But that's the thing, trusting your intuition as well. Follow your intuition more. So learning how to tune into your intuition is another thing. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Another thing, how we will be that we will be exploring and strengthening your intuition. So yes, if you feel like you want to take the journey with me in Liberato, 3 months, it's a whole program. I will expose you to so many different psychic modalities like light language, Akashic records, cards, pendulum will strengthen your psychic gifts, different ways of connecting with different beings, not just your guides. It's like the full program, 3 months. Let me know. There's payment plans, anything, just DM me. But most importantly, I hope that you have found this helpful and you can start connecting the dots and see where